So today we're gonna talk about wheelie bikes. No, 29 big wheel bikes. I don't know. We're gonna talk about these new trend of 29-inch big gigantic wheel BMX bike.
What are these, Max?
They're cruisers, dude.
What type?
I don't know, BMX cruisers.
BMX cruisers, what size are the wheels?
This one's 26, this one's 26, there's 24, there's 29, 27.5.
Beautiful. They don't make this.
Why don't they make it?
They only make the orange one, but we went and we made a black one for Polo because the black one was also one of the colors they did back in the day.
So this is a custom one?
This is a full custom. This is the very first Black Dyno 29.
That you created?
No, actually, we made it. He created it. Polo created it. Because back in the days, in 87, I think, 87, 88, when they came out the color, they had the orange, black, red, white. So Polo just said, you know, I wasn't into the orange one. I always liked the black one, so you gotta make me a black one. So we made him a fucking black one.
There you go.
And we did it. I think we did a pretty good job. Everybody thought that GT actually made one.
12 o'clock, boy. Feeling nice.
The talk nowadays about bicycle is the wheelie bikes, big wheel bikes, or even 29-inch BMX bike. You know, I've been asked, hey, are these gigantic bikes BMX bikes? Like the Clout one here, the GT one here. Are they BMX bikes? Everything is all based on opinion. In my opinion, they are a BMX bike. What makes a BMX bike to me is a bicycle that you could have fun on, you could jump around, do tricks. Yeah, some people might say, you know what, I could do that on a mountain bike, I could do that on a road bike. But you know what, the certain distinct look of it, where it has the fundamental diamond shaped frame. Oh, okay, you're right. This doesn't have the diamond shaped frame, but you guys get it. So that's what a BMX bike is to me. Now, these are just gigantic version of a BMX bike. And these right here are just baby versions of a BMX bike. What is the big craze with this? You've been hearing it, you've been seeing it on YouTube, 12 o'clock boy, 10 o'clock boy, whatever you want to call it. The biggest thing about this, what I've seen through all my years of being an BMX enthusiast, this trend is almost like recycling BMX again. This is how BMX got started. BMX got started on a race bike like this, and off the days where people aren't racing, they started doing wheelies. They started doing all like jumps. They started doing all these little tricks, giving birth freestyle instead of racing. And so BMX has gotten so wild with everybody's triple flip, quadruple whips. These guys came out with this big bike that is fun. And to me, I look at it as a refreshment, a revival in this, because now you could get on the bike and do wheelies and have fun again. You could ride, and you could ride on the back peg, hop around just like what we did when we were young, and still have fun. 3-piece crank, pegs, 990s. I mean, it has everything this bike has, just in a giant version. I could say SE gets the credit for being the one that innovated this, not the 29-inch. 29-inch has always been around. They've been around for mountain bikes and road bikes. I would give credit to SE as being like the innovator of the 29-inch BMX bike. They probably started this, I'd say roughly, I could be wrong, Todd Lyons, chime in, educate us a little, but about a little over 10 years ago when they released the Big Ripper, which was made for, I think, what was Rob Dyrdek's bodyguard?
Big Black.
Big Black?
Yeah.
Okay, so they made a Big Ripper for Big Black. And then from there, it started out a little slow, and then eventually it blew up. I think it blew up maybe about 4 or 5 years ago. And then everybody else started making it, which I think is a cool thing. It just brings us a new element to BMX. Some of you guys might think, you know, is 29-inch new? It's not new. It's been around. I'm not sure if some of you guys know, but like fixed gears. The fixed gears, they've been on 700C. 700C is just another form to say 29-inch, but in a road bike language. versus mountain bike or BMX. What is the difference? Some people might go, well, you know what? I want to get into this wheelie game. I want to cruise. I'm going to get an SE. Well, you know what? There's other stuff out there, but since SE's were the one that started it, everybody thinks it's an SE thing. It kind of is, but not anymore. Now, what's the difference with the SE? You know what? Unfortunately, we don't have any SE. SE sells, you know, so we don't have any right now. But from what I've heard and what I've seen from some of the locals that are very good at doing the wheelies and doing all the stunts on them, the SE has a lower bottom bracket. The lower bottom bracket allows you to pop it up, scoop the bike up a little bit better. Again, if any of you guys have any opinion on that, I'm always learning. Clout, for example, their bottom bracket is not as low, but the difference with the Clout and the SE is the SE is more of a race bike. It's more of a race 29-inch, where this is more of a street 29-inch. The GT is more of a kind of like a freestyle stunt 29. All based on opinion, guys. Now, you notice right here, this is Max's 29-inch. This is the Clout Devotion new 2020 bike. It's gonna be out soon, guys. Max has pegs on it because he wants to grind on it. He wants to do what he does on his 20-inch, except he wants to have a little fun. He wants to be able to cruise a little bit. The SE, I wouldn't really recommend putting pegs on, grinding it. Why? Because the frame's made out of aluminum. I mean, you're gonna be grinding on a bike that's made out of aluminum. It's gonna be prone to cracks, and it's gonna wear down the bike a little bit more. Again, you know, I know some of you guys might go, you know what? No, that's wrong. Foo, you're wrong. I do it on my bike. Just because you do it on your bike does not mean that it's not wrong or right. You look at a lot of these bikes are all chromoly. Nobody's gonna grind on an aluminum frame. If that's all you got, cool. But an SE, Big Ripper, is more of a 29-inch race bike. You can do wheelies on it real easy. It's lightweight. This is not a race bike. This is a street machine. 29-inch street machine. We have right here another 29, which is the Dyno Pro Comp. This is the Dave Volker model. Dave Volker and GT kind of got reunited again because Dave Volker used to ride for GT back in the days and Dyno, and he was honored with this collaboration bike. I personally feel attached to this bike because I grew up with Dyno. So this is a beautiful bike. I get people coming in here a lot and they go, you know, I want to get into this SE bike. I go, what do you mean SE bike? So you know, like these bikes that you go on these ride. Because SE was one of the pioneers to do it, or if not even the one of the pioneers, they are the pioneer. A lot of these companies now, they kind of got into it, you know, to cater to the mass. But in all actuality, the S is not an SE bike. That's just a brand. All these bikes are just a bigger BMX bike. Now I know there's a handful of people out there, they're on the SE because SE was the OG at doing these big bikes. It's kind of the trend thing. But then there's also a group of people that are a firm believer that SE has the ultimate wheelie geometry. And I can't do a wheelie, so that's all based on what people tell me. You know what, the way the SE is, the way the geometry of the bottom bracket, how low the bottom bracket is, how short the rear end is, just a lot of stuff like that. Again, if you guys know something, let me know, because I've never claimed to know everything. I know some stuff, but let us know. Let us know. Let the audience know what you think of why the SE is more superior, or if there's any other brand that's more superior. But from what I've heard, the SE has the superior one from the geometry. Low bottom bracket, short rear end. But I also know a handful of people that have this bike, that have the GT Pro Freestyle, that has the Haro, even some of the imitation one out there, some of the other BS brand out there that makes now 29. I see people do wheelies great on those too. So it'd be really sick if I think some of you guys out there, let's hear from you guys that are killing it on this wheelie game on another brand. Why you guys picked that bike? Let us know, because again, I'm really new at this. You know, it's time the tables turn around and you guys be the teacher and you guys teach me.
Do you think it could be a price point too? Like, is SE cheaper or more affordable, more expensive?
No, because they're all basically the same price. People remember me saying that if I have, let's say, $1,000, I would take the $1,000 and I would buy an SE. Why? Because SE, Todd has made such a culture out of it that it's become almost like a trading card. You know, the bike itself is limited edition. People buy it, they flip it. It's crazy. It's almost like the whole Supreme thing. I happen to have the SE Santa Cruz 29-inch, and I have the limited edition skateboard deck to come along with it. I've seen that thing brand new on eBay for $4,000. That bike was originally only like $900. So the SE itself has become that. Is it a better bike? I don't think so. I think some of the components on the SE, it's a hit or miss. The GT, the dyno, I think dollar for dollar, these guys are the one that's most worth it, because for $700, you're getting aftermarket GT cranks, aftermarket GT cassettes, aftermarket GT stem. I mean, aftermarket stuff, whereas the SE, you don't. You get the basic freewheel hubs, basic stem, a generic stem, generic seat that has the SE logo on it. Not that much, but it's almost the same price. But remember, like what I said, I would rather still put my money on the SE, because if you plan to buy the SE right, you can actually flip it for some money. Like, I'll show you guys this for example.
You get Clout tokens with it too.
Exactly.
It's all about the Clout, and it's like the iPhone and Android.
Exactly. Here you see this mountain of mess right here. This bike right here. The SoCal Spring Green. The reason why that thing is still in the box and I don't have it built up, because SE did a surprise drop. If any of you guys Supreme guys out there, you guys know when Supreme announced they're gonna do a drop, everybody's losing sleep waiting for it. Same thing with that Spring Green. SE didn't let anybody know what happened. Out of nowhere, they just released it. They only made 250. All the way up there is the 24-inch STR, which is the SE. It was the limited edition Stu Thompson. They made a limited amount of those. We don't even advertise it, because those things are worth a lot now. They're going for 900. You could probably slang those things for about 12, 13. It hasn't gained that much steam, but give it a year, you could probably get about 1,500. So it's like Nate said, the SE has got that kind of Clout credibility. So you got that where if you have the money, you could put into that. Whereas some of these, like the dyno, the GT, man, I think those are way better quality. But again, it doesn't have that Clout value. So there's a give or take. Let me hear from you. Am I just talking out of my ass, or am I talking the truth? SE definitely got the Clout, but the quality wise, I don't think the SE could compete with the GT, the Haro, or even the Cult Devotion. But where would you put your money? I know a lot about BMX, but the 29-inch BMX is really new to me. I'm learning as much as you guys. I think some of you guys even know better than me. So if you guys want to hear more about it, you want to hear more from some of the pros that ride the 29s, that are really good at doing these wheelie stunts, let us know. Demand it. Go, hey, OSS, hey, Nate, do some of these. And what we're going to do is we're going to interview a couple of these guys, several of these guys, or if you guys want to be interviewed, hit up Nate, hit up OSS.